code here and then follow this outline here. Kind of like a recipe book. Oh, hi! I was just planning some new cross-stitching ideas. Just recently bought this Disney cross-stitch. Thought I'd give it a try. Be quite fun, and it'll give me something to do. Luckily, I'm close to being on the mend, so I'll soon be returning to work, but it's sure taking its time. I just wish that my foot would get better quicker, but I don't think any magic can do that. The only magic that can, I suppose, is the magic of patience. But sometimes even thinking outside the box can help. That's what I've had to do. Instead of thinking the pain, I've been thinking of ways to entertain myself. Across stitching, you guys, even my jars. You know, the jars are like an ingredient in a stew. I need certain types of items to make the jar perfect. Without those items, I can't do it. But that doesn't mean that I can't think about it. And there are times when the items do come wrong, do turn out wrong, but then I have to improvise. Kind of like someone I know. It takes a lot to just imagine a solution. And I know someone who is able to use her imagination to the best of her abilities. She's even able to come up with a solution to problems without even thinking about it. Today's story is a Beauty and Beast story, and it's called Enchanted Stew. Belle hummed to herself as she strolled through the castle. She'd been living there for a few months now and was finally beginning to feel at home. Now she was heading towards the kitchen for a chat with Mrs. Potts and Stove. "Well, hello, dear," Mrs. Potts and the Stove called out together as Belle stepped into the large kitchen. The smell of roasting meat and vegetables greeted Belle. "Hello," Belle replied. "You're just in time for a spot of tea," Mrs. Potts said. Belle smiled as Chip hopped across the counter, stopping right in front of her. "I'll be your teacup," he said, "and no bubble trip, I promise," he added seriously. "All right then," Belle agreed. "How was your morning in the library, dear?" Miss Potts asked. "It was wonderful," Belle exclaimed. "I finished my book about knights in shining armour and started one about a prince who's disguised as a frog." "A frog?" the Stove acclaimed. "Oh my, what a tale!" Suddenly, black smoke began to seep out of the sides of the oven door. "Oh my!" the Stove said again, throwing open the door. Smoke poured into the room. When it finally cleared, Belle spied a scorched roast and crispy black vegetables inside. "Oh my!" the Stove exclaimed a third time. "Oh, what are we going to feed the beast for supper?" Mrs. Potts fretted. The kitchen door opened and Lumiere rushed into the room, and I apologise for my French accents, by the way. What is this awful smell?" he asked. A moment later, he spied the roast. "Oh, sacre bleu! It's absolutely scorched!" he cried. "We can't possibly feed that to the beast. What will we do?" Belle got to her feet. "Enchanted stew," she said calmly. Taking down a large stew pot and a few vegetables, she began to chop and simmer. The last ingredient was the scorched roast. "It adds the perfect smoky flavour," she explained. Just then the beast came into the kitchen. "What? Smells so delicious?" he asked. "Supper," Belle replied with a smile and a wink at the Stove and Mrs. Potts. "It's called Enchanted Stew, and we cooked it all together." Belle turned a disaster into a very, very enchanting meal within seconds. That's because she thought. That's because she's a thinker. And sometimes with my jars, I have to think A, a B, a C, a D, sometimes even a plan Z before it goes right. That's why my jars take time. Kind of, I do that with life as well. I don't have one solution. I have many. I sometimes have more than 5,000 before I get it completely right. But that's the point of learning. We learn from all of our mistakes. But when we make a mistake, we should never become disheartened. We should embrace the mistake for as long as we do it, and eventually we will get it right. It just will take a lot longer to figure out what the right way is. Just like in our dreams, there's a right path and a wrong path to everything. And I hope you go down the right path tonight as you dream. I better go. I've got things I need to do. And I better think about what I'm going to do next. Oh, by the way, did you figure out what my cross stitch was? It's not finished yet, but I think this is more of a clue. Don't forget to like, subscribe and comment and see if you can work out who this is. Again, that's another clue. Well, I'll see you around, my friends. Take care.